Yo, what is going on? How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another episode of the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Henriksen. If you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, self-development, and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now, but at least having the confidence knowing that you're moving one step closer, 1% better, one tiny crawl forward towards the person that you'd like to be, the life you'd like to lead, the people you'd like to surround yourself with, and how you'd like to, feel when you look in the mirror, honestly. And so, how is everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. If you're listening to this the day that it drops, thank you very much for coming and joining us here. So, like I said, happy Monday. It's the beginning of a new week. It's the beginning of a new chapter of life for me. Last weekend, I got married. Beautiful last weekend. It was awesome. It was literally one of the greatest days of my life. I've always felt like when I watch other people get married, I always saw dudes crying, and I was like, man, hold it together, man. Get yourself together, dude. And I got to be honest, I was leaking that day. It was a good day, very emotional day, super fun, very thankful for it. And so, I hope that everyone is doing well. I feel completely different. It is hilarious because, the last couple of years we've been living together. We've got, our life kind of established together. And we have always said, man, it feels like we're already married. It feels like, we're pretty much there. We're basically married. People are they're in a relationship long enough. They're like, we're practically married. It feels like we're married already. And that's exactly how I felt until I got married. And now I realize that it is a completely different thing. It is, it feels very different. I don't know. It is kind of just like a ritual that you go through and you have these kind of like symbols, the signing of the paper, having someone do the ritual over you, having a little ring, whatever. But it's like, it is something that, once you go through it, and once you've kind of made that commitment, a lifelong commitment to somebody, to something, you realize, well, maybe you realize this before, maybe you realize this after, whatever. But you realize a lot of things in this life, like love and peace, like feeling like in balance, all of those things, they are things that are built. They're not found. It's not like a hidden treasure that you just stumble across. It's not like one of those things, where you get a treasure map, X marks the spot. If you can find Davy Jones' fucking locket, or you find, what was that one without a paddle? The guy's treasure that he falls out of a plane or whatever. Anyways, it's not something like that. It's not like a hidden treasure, like I said, that you can find. It's something that you can build like a house. It's not something that you just like stumble across, And I say that because, I've got a lot of people in my life that I've seen kind of make this kind of journey, as well as myself. That's kind of what the book, The Alchemist, is about. We spend our lives looking for a treasure. And spoiler alert, the book's been out for long enough. You can read it yourself. But, a lot of the time, what we're looking for is actually right beneath our feet. It's right where we've started. And that's because what we're looking for truly isn't just like the thing. It's actually just the opportunity for it. That's really how it works. The next thing isn't going to save you. We're constantly looking like for the next thing over and over and over again. If I just move to this place, if I can get out of this neighborhood, if I can get that new job, if I can be with this person, if I could get rid of this person, if I could do this thing, if I can get a promotion, if I can get a raise, if I could get a new pair of shoes, if I could get a new car, if I had this, if I had that, then I'd be happy. Maybe if I moved across the country or across the world or to a new city or whatever it is, something else like will make me happy. This next purchase will satisfy me in this next phase of my life. Once I get there, one more month and then I'm done my exams, and then I can build happiness, and then I can, pay attention to the people that love me that I've been neglecting or ignoring. We've been trained by the society that we're in to just replace everything we have. If you really do honestly think about it. whether it's an object, a thing, a job, a person, a relationship. You can replace pretty much anything with the swipe of your thumb, with a little scrolling, a little clicking, a little clacking, a little this, a little that, whatever. You can have. You don't like your meal, get a new meal. Order a pizza. You don't like your donair, order a different one. I ordered the lamb one. I want the chicken one. Don't like your relationship, jump on any dating app. There's fucking 970 of them, and you can just swipe through all the bots, and then eventually you'll find some real people and real human beings. And look, like, you can just continuously go through your life replacing and upgrading every single time you're not happy with something. Whether it's your job, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your phone, whether it's your whatever it is. Your house decor, the clothes that you have, the way they fit you, whatever it is. We're conditioned by society, the way that things are set up, such that everything is disposable. If something's not up to par, if something's not up to your standards, if something takes a little bit more effort or it's a little bit more inconvenient for you, then instantly we're thinking, how can I replace this? How can I get rid of this thing? Am I going to, and how many buttons do I got to push on my smartphone to solve this problem? That's basically the way that we're set up to think and the way that we're set up to behave nowadays. And we realize, like, a lot of the times, our grandparents and our parents, they have, especially our grandparents. Like, dude, my grandma, the only grandparent I have left, she survived through in Europe, the wars going on, the Second World War. This is somebody who's dealt with wartime rations that literally raised animals for food. You're not relying on, there's groceries in the grocery store. You're like, okay, we got to raise some rabbits because they'll mate the fastest and we can have meat more often. And so it's like, when you grow up like that, these are the type of people, they don't throw out anything, dude. Like, if I threw out an egg carton, my grandma's like, dude, the arts and crafts we can do with that? We could plant some seeds. We could do this. We could do that. Like, people that have lived through desperation and hard times and needing things out of necessity, they have more reverence for the things that they have, the people around them, the people that the things that they have to share, the gifts that they have, they're a lot more thankful, they're a lot more grateful, they're a lot less inclined to just think of things as disposable. In fact, usually, and this brings me to my next point, usually when they come into contact with something that most people would throw out, their brain is thinking of opportunities for that thing. They're thinking about solutions where most people would see a problem, something to dispose of, something to get rid of. These types of people that I think are 100% necessary we need them now more than ever. These are the type of people that they see a problem and they know more about the solution, or they're more intrigued, more interested, more alerted by the solutions they can find, the opportunities they can find, than the problem. Most people, the average person, your average coworker, employee, employer, etc., your parents, your siblings, your friends, most people can tell you more about the problems that they have in their lives rather than what they're going to do about them. You could somebody could be telling you about a problem and you go, hey man, that sounds really tough. This is a solution that I think that might work. Or this is something that I think you should do. And they start telling you why it won't work. Well, this is this, and you don't really understand my problem. And they start telling you every single nitty-gritty detail about why this problem is their problem. It's not their fault, and they're stuck exactly where they're at. They go, this is keeping me down. This is happening. If I could have this, if I had that, if I had this, if I had, and they tell you every single nitty-gritty detail, and you go, okay, well, what are you? Okay, obviously, my plan, you're right. I know nothing about what's going on in your life. Why don't you tell me what your plan is? What's your solution? And they'll be like, fuck, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to try. I guess I'll just try. I'll just try it out. I'll try it out. Dude, I'll go out and I'll try. I'm going to just do my best. And, like I said, they know every single detail. They're willing to dedicate and convince you and themselves of every single little detail about their problem. And when it comes down to a solution or some sort of an actionable step forward, it's like, well, I don't know, I'll try. I don't know. Imagine having the complete opposite end of this spectrum. Obviously, I don't think that that's the best thing for you because you got to know the why behind the what with your problems and such. But, imagine a world where someone's like, "Oh, I've got this problem going on." You're like, "What happened?" And you're like, "Honestly, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is, it is what it is. This is what happened, and this is what I'm planning on doing to fix it. I've already thought of this, this, and this." And they start telling you every single nitty-gritty detail about the opportunity that they have, the way that they're going to solve this problem, the solution that they've already thought of. Imagine if we knew more about our solutions than we do about our problems. Imagine if we spent more time thinking about solutions than we do about our problems. How often we tell ourselves and other people about our issues. How many times we just sit there thinking about it. Or we try avoiding thinking about it and just sit there scrolling. We're again probably scrolling for the next thing that's going to fix this thing. I'm just looking to find that treasure. And look, love and peace are two things that you just cannot find. You won't find them. And if you do find them, then that's not the real thing. You have to build these things. Because the actually understanding and actually building and actually developing these skills are it's almost necessary to understand the other side of it as well. To understand love is to really understand loneliness, because once you understand loneliness, you know, I never want my partner to feel like that because it's the worst feeling ever. Isolation and alone and scared and depressed and anxious. And when you understand those things, then you know how they can creep into your life. And then you project that onto other people, right? And then you think, oh, well, I never want my partner to feel those things. And if I don't want them to feel that, well, then I got to get them to feel loved. I got to get them to feel attractive. I got to get them to feel respected and safe and a part of something, like a part of a team. And if you don't understand the other side of it, you can't, produce or learn or build the thing that you're actually looking for. And peace is the exact same thing. Peace, everyone thinks, if I had this vacation time, if I just had an extra day in my weekend, a 3-day weekend instead of a 2-day weekend, if I could just work 6 hours instead of 8 hours, a lot of the time, when we're looking for peace, when we're looking for a state of mind where we feel good, where we feel in balance, where we get that homeostasis, a lot of the time what we're actually talking about is we would like a break. We would like some free time. I think a lot of people relate to that, right? You're like, look, things are stressed out right now. Maybe you're a student. Maybe you're working full time. Maybe you run your own business. Maybe you're busy. You got kids. You got a marriage to worry about, whatever it is, right? Like we always think that maybe we could get some more downtime. Maybe if I could get some vacation time. Maybe if I can get a longer weekend. Maybe I could get someone to do some of this work for me. If someone could take this responsibility off my back. And I don't know about you guys, but in my life, it doesn't ever really seem like my responsibilities are shrinking. It seems like as life goes on, my responsibilities and what I have to be accountable for grows every single year. Eventually it's like, okay, you got to take care of your room as a kid. Maybe maybe you start smaller. You got like a toy chest. That's your responsibility. Get the toys out, get the toys in, keep it clean, keep it tidy. Then you get your room. Then you maybe take on some chores. You take on some other areas, domains of the world, the house, your life. And then eventually, your responsibilities grow. Now I have to take care of a whole home, and maybe someone else. And as life goes on, maybe it's more and more people that you become responsible for, and that that you have to be held accountable to. And so just knowing that that's kind of the pattern of life, that things are going to keep growing, responsibilities and what you're, responsible for, that mindset of, I just got something in my eye, but that mindset of like, oh, I'll find balance and peace when blank is completely unreasonable, because we know it's never going to be more chill, right? Like our life is going to be, and even when it is, even when you have the plan, okay, I'm going to take a week off, I'm going to go and do this, I'm going to go and do that. I don't know about you guys, but I've never had a plan just go according to plan in my life. There's always, I've always said, and like this is kind of like a joke that runs in my family, like we've got great luck. Things always work out for us, but we are just going to hit every single speed bump along the way. And there's that law of physics, whatever can go wrong will. I always feel like that's kind of what it is in my life. And so it's like, even when you have the time off, there's things that are going to go wrong. You're going to need a contingency plan. You're going to need to understand that you can't wait for a thing for you to be able to find inner peace. These are things that are built through prayer, through discipline, through gratitude, through changing your perspective, not just being on the whim of whatever emotion you're feeling that day. And ultimately just being honest with yourself, telling the truth with other people, and like I said, spending a little bit of time being bored, being building that peace internally, finding the small moments. And a lot of the time, if you're anything like me, even when you get that vacation time, even when you get that private time, that quiet time, you're it's you would think those are the times that we feel the most at peace or in balance, but those are the times where my mind starts to race the most, where I start to feel guilty. I feel weird sitting down. I'm like, I got these issues going on in my life. I got this goal I want to work towards, whatever it is. And I start to I start to get that inner dialogue where it's like, things are going really well. This seems very peaceful. So you almost like can't enjoy the peace because you start thinking in your head subconsciously, what could go wrong? What's next? My life has never gone this peaceful. And that's what I mean by the fact that peace isn't just something that you find. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being that is something that you develop. It's like a skill. It's like anything else in most things in life. It is a perishable skill. It's not like riding a bike where you just ride a bike when you're a kid and then you jump on it 20 years later. You kind of get the gist of it and you can just kind of do it. It's a skill. It's like being able to do a handstand or being able to like lift your, like kick over your head or whatever it is. It's like, dude, if you don't do that for a few months or a few years or whatever, gain a little bit of weight, you lose a little bit of muscle, whatever it is, this kind of a skill perishes over time. And that's what kind of being able to find peace in these quiet moments really is like. It's something that takes commitment. It's something that takes a little bit of discipline. Being able to train your brain not to be paying attention to the first thought, the first emotion, and center yourself back to what it is. And again, that comes down to understanding that not everything in this world is disposable. And this disposable mindset that we have in our lives destroys commitment. And commitment is really what's necessary to build anything in life. And the things that we want need to be built. They can't be found. You're never going to just stumble upon love. You're never going to just stumble upon feeling at ease or in peace or at balance. You're never going to just be able to figure out, I don't feel stressed or anxious anymore. I just found peace. Turns out it was in my fucking pocket. I just had to look. It's not like that. It's not like you just like kind of like clean out your closet because you're moving and you just find your passport in the back of a fucking bag or whatever it is. You don't just find it. You have to actually build it. You have to actually, and that takes commitment. If everything's disposable, commitment is like the most foolish thing, because why would you if everything is disposable? If you can just get a new one tomorrow, why work through conflict if you can just leave? Why fix something if you can just replace it? Why be patient when you could upgrade your things, right? Marriage, faith, healing, family, business, peace, comfort, love, happiness, prayer, all of these things is something that you have to work towards. You have to develop it. You have to build it. And so that's the challenge for the week. Stop chasing these things. Stop chasing peace and love from sources that we're just not going to get them. we have to understand where these things are found, which is internally. And anything outside of yourself that you're telling yourself, oh, when I have this, when I have that, if the variable itself isn't you, it's never going to change your life. It's not going to be the thing that makes you happier. If you are telling yourself, if only I had blank, and that thing isn't internal, not going to fix it. Not going to feel better if you have it. In fact, you'll probably feel worse. You're probably putting yourself in a worse decision, in a worse position. And if you're telling yourself about your problems, here's another fucking little, nice little tidbit to remember. If you're talking about your problem, and you know more about your problem than you do about the solutions that you're going to work towards, you're ruminating. You're thinking too much about your negativity. You need to think less about yourself and more about a solution. If you're thinking about your partner in your relationship and you're thinking about your needs, but I want this, I want that, I should feel this, I should feel that. You cannot serve your partner while you're thinking about yourself. Right? So when it comes to relationships, you have to think about the other person. Surprise, surprise. When it comes to anything else, you have to think about inside, internal, not anybody else. And the other thing as well is when it comes to solutions, if your solution is based on another person, that's the other thing. The problem, think about the other person's problems. When it comes to solutions, if your solution is based on another person, oh, well, if this person does this, then I can feel this. You're never going to get close to your life that you'd like to lead. You're never going to get closer to the solution that you're looking for. Because if we always use somebody else as a variable, there's always going to be a way to phone it in and to just really not give it our all. We have to be able to do everything that's within our powers. Do everything within your power to build this peace, this love, this commitment that you're looking for. And everything else is let go and let God. On that note, I will check you guys next Monday. I think that's a beautiful place to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, podcast platforms, whatever it is. Share this with a friend that needs to hear this message. And on that note, I love you guys. I will see you next Monday. Much love. Peace out. Bye.